Welcome back to my channel, Famous and Fabulous. Mary Padian became one of those human beings you could not neglect on Storage Wars. Together with her quirky attraction and a paranormal knack for turning junk into gold, she became the sort of man or woman who made you prevent and watch, whether she become bidding on storage devices filled with thriller or transforming rusty antiques into jaw-losing creations. Mary continually introduced something unique to the show. However, then, much like that, she disappeared from the spotlight. No massive farewell, no assertion, just off the display screen. It left lovers thinking, what occurred to Mary? Did she go away? Vestige locker, global for proper, is she still attempting to find treasures? Mary Pon failed to develop up, dreaming of bidding wars, so dusty garage, units full of mysterious treasures. However, existence has a funny manner of taking us down unexpected roads. Born on August 24, 1980 in Dallas, Texas, Mary was constantly the innovative kind. Did you know that Mary comes from a Padian family with a little bit of a showbiz heritage? Her father John Pon changed into a well-known businessman. However, her mother Teresa had an exciting profession as a Texas real property agent, maybe it's, wherein Mary discovered to spot the hidden ability in matters. It looks as if a family trait to peer value where others don't. She had an eye fixed for splendor inside the handiest matters, which makes feel when you hear, in which she started out in the back of Thelans of a digicam. She studied photojournalism at the University of Texas at Austin, in which she found out Tosi's stories with simply one click after completing college. Mary Padian's first big step inside the expert world took her instantly to the coronary heart of New York City. Can you imagine? A small-town female from Texas unexpectedly in the huge leagues, operating as an assistant editor at Architectural Digest, one of the maximum prestigious layout magazines obtainable. It became like getting into a global luxurious creativity and cutting-edge layout. She was surrounded by using high-end furnishings, swanky interiors, and delightful spaces. It regarded like the dream task for anybody who'd an ardor for layout. Do you ever find yourself noticing things others do not like, vintage homes or forgotten objects? With ability, this is how Mary felt whenever she walked via New York streets or flipped through design magazines. She knew there has been something to be stated approximately vintage about the testimonies behind the things human beings tossed apart. Even though Mary was on this glamorous world, something felt off. She loved the creativity, sure. But New York turned into rapid, and it did not have the equal appeal that she grew up with. She wasn't simply interested by the vibrant, high-priced stuff. She discovered herself attracted to the antique, the wiped out, the hidden treasures that there's disregarded. She may want to spot beauty in an antique wooden chair or a rusty sign, the instant others might pass them by Asa. Good deal, as she cherished design. The short-paced town existence wasn't exactly an excellent in shape. For Mary, she neglected the arms-on creativity in the thrill of coming across something unexpected. That is, while she had a mild bulb moment, why just admire stunning things when you could create them? It truly is. While it hit her, she failed to just want to admire layout, she wanted to create it. And so Mary began transferring her consciousness and headed return to Texas and opened a small boutique referred to as Mary's Finds. Her save have become a treasure trove of vintage pieces, upcycled fixtures and quirky antiques. Assumed junkyard meets art gallery. But Mary didn't just sell stuff, she informed stories through every piece she curated. Humorous how a girl with a digital camera in New York ended up digging via storage devices in Texas, right? However, that's just the beginning of her tale as a younger Lady Mary Padian, and turned into already catching eyes, not just due to her infectious character, but due to the fact she had that particular mixture of splendor and brains. Her quick wit and infectious smile made her stand out. However, it became her eye for hidden gems that surely set her apart in spite of her simple allure. And beauty rumors about Mary's dating repute have always been a bit of a fans have frequently speculated approximately her love lifestyles, in particular with how charming and magnetic she is on display screen. Her mystery relies on her being on a truth display in which relationships and personal drama frequently take Center stage Mary has usually saved her non-public life. Just that private. Perhaps it's due to the fact she was so centered on her passion for antique finds and building, her enterprise, or maybe it's due to the fact Mary simply loves to hold matters non-public. However, the reality is she changed into hardly ever seen with a companion, earlier than she made onto Storage Wars. A few enthusiasts even began to wonder, how is a person like her not in a dating? In any case, she had all of the features people look for, lovely, clever, and amusing to be around. But Mary's focus became continually greater at the things that genuinely lit her up, like her Keep Mary's finds and her creative ventures. She regarded to find success in constructing something for herself, as opposed to searching out a relationship that would distract her from her desires, even though there have been no most important headlines or gossip about her love lifestyles. Earlier than the show that failed to forestall her from turning into a fan-favored, her appeal and warm persona made her exceedingly likable, and it wasn't lengthy earlier than humans had been, asking is Mary seeing every person. But even when the cameras rolled, she maintained a sense of thriller while it got here to her relationships. And who ought to blame her? Now onto something with a purpose to marvel, you agree with it or no longer earlier, than she have become, the big name we all recognize from Storage Wars. She simply gained an online maximum, probably to become a reality TV megastar award. Sound quite wild, right? Who should have expected that? A unusual young woman, strolling a antique, save in Texas, couldn't they be rummaging through garage gadgets on TV? But it seems the symptoms were already there. It's almost like fate changed into giving Mary P in a bit, nudge earlier than she even knew what became coming. So while Mary received the most probably to become a reality TV megastar award online, it felt like a sign that her destiny was already being written. You can almost pay attention. The universe whispering, get ready, Mary, something big is coming. It wasn't lengthy after that she were given the decision to sign up for Storage Wars Texas, and the whole lot seemed to fall into region. It changed into like that. It wasn't only a amusing little prediction, it was extra like an early clue that Mary changed into at the root to something incredible. She became already being noticed, already standing out, and when the manufacturers spotted her in 2012, it was an ideal match. It turned into the perfect possibility for her. Her threat to take her L of treasure hunting to an entire new degree. Whilst she first joined The Forged, it did not take lengthy for her to display viewers precisely why she changed into this sort of fantastic match for the display. In fact, she quick became a fan favorite from the moment she appeared on display screen. Mary's creative reveals have been unlike something enthusiasts had seen before. She failed to simply look for treasured objects. She looked for the bizarre, the quirky, and the objects that could make humans say, whoa, it truly is, clearly, genuinely cool. Her eye for potential become unrivaled a skill. Now not all and sundry has, and it is part of what made her so fascinating to look at. But it wasn't just the treasures she found that were given. People hooked, it changed into her. Mary had this infectious power that made it impossible now not to root for her. Whether or not she was jumping right into a bidding, warfare cracking jokes, or showing off her trendy locate, you couldn't assist but be drawn to her. She was relatable, humorous, and a bit unpredictable, which made for some incredible TV moments. Even though she wasn't an original cast member, Mary quickly have become one of the maximum recognizable faces on the show. Income's a dependable fan base, thanks to her vibrant persona and knack for finding hidden treasures in Storage Wars. Texas, the premise changed into much like the unique Storage Wars. Bidders might compete towards every different for the contents of abandoned storage gadgets, frequently hoping to discover treasured items that have been left at the back. Of Mary's unique talent set stood out from the relaxation she had, a notable potential to spot potential in apparently useless or discarded items, and she may want to flip even the maximum junked out finds into something treasured. Her relationships with her fellow Forged members additionally delivered an additional layer to the display. She had a playful from time to time, competitive dynamic. With her fellow bids and enthusiasts love to watch the friendly contention unfold, her chemistry, with the relaxation of the forge-like. The gruff, however lovable, Ricky, and the savvy and witty Ivy, who she refers to Asher, Beth, created a number of the great moments of the display. Mary's debut on Storage Wars Texas turned into just the start of what became a standout career at the show. She failed to simply become a regular. She had become the Junkster, a name she wore proudly, and it's no wonder her enthusiasm turned into contagious. Her instincts had been sharp, and her unearths had been nothing quick or remarkable. You by no means knew what she'd pull out subsequent, but you knew it turned into going to be exact after making her mark on Garage struggle. Wars Texas, Mary Padian's journey, took an exciting turn whilst she joined the original Storage Wars show in its 5th season in 2014. That is while matters truly commenced to take off. For her lovers who had already fallen in love, together with her on the spin-off, were pleased to see her convey her infectious energy to the primary display, and it failed to take lengthy for her to carve out a place for herself. Some of the veteran biders, while the opposite biders had been focused on big-ticket gadgets. Mary's eye became attracted to the quirky, surprising reveals, whether or not it became a vintage lamp, a dusty old painting, or an assortment of oddball items. Mary could continually see the potential in things others may overlook. She failed to simply see junk. She noticed hidden gemstones waiting to be polished up and given a brand new existence. As the seasons went on, Mary have become extra and greater critical to the display. She changed into no longer just a visitor big name. She was a key purchaser, acting in more than one seasons, and constructing a recognition as someone who might be counted directly to carry each pleasure and success to the bidding wars. Her mixture of difficult paintings, creativity, and that unmistakable strength made her a standout on Storage Wars. And of course, who may want to forget her dynamic with the other solid contributors, from her playful rivalry with Dave Hester to her pleasant banter with Brandy and Jared. Mary usually added her proper self to the show, growing some of the most memorable moments. It wasn't just about the treasures it turned into, about the people, the personalities, and the manner. Mary's suitable natured approach made the whole enjoy extra exciting to look at. After 12 seasons, Storage Wars aired its collection finale in January 2019, bringing an give up to an era. But Mary's effect on the show will by no means be forgotten. While Mary Padian became a family colvia, her time on Storage Wars, there may be a side to her life that does not make it onto the cameras as regularly. Her deep connection to her circle of relatives and her entrepreneurial spirit. She has always been open about how close she is to her circle of relatives. And that really consists of her siblings, known for being the intense camera-prepared famous person on Storage Wars. Her bond with her siblings is something that she holds close to, and pricey circle of relatives has usually been her foundation, and she or he often talks about how her siblings have performed a massive role in shaping who she is today. What many may not recognize is how committed Mary is to her business past, the sector of Storage Wars. Even as she's recognized for her Save Mars finds, her entrepreneurial spirit runs deep. She's a driven lady who's constantly considering ways to innovate, expand and grow. Her logo, the store, is not just an area to sell vintage gadgets, it's her Ardor project, a place where she pours her creativity into every item, ensuring every piece has a tale to tell. She's not pretty much finding treasures. She's approximately turning those treasures into something human beings can recognize in a brand new light. Bother existence outdoor. The cameras is likewise about stability. Mary has made it clear that even as she loves what she does and thrives in the speedy-paced global of TV and business, she is aware of how important it is to take time for herself. She loves spending time along with her cherished ones and staying grounded. Even if the limelight is shining down on her, she becomes at her peak, riding high on the achievement of Storage Wars, capturing hearts along with her precise mixture of attraction, humor, and an eye fixed for treasure lovers could not get sufficient of her, and it appeared like Mary P. Inden turned into everywhere then. As swift as she got here into the spotlight, she vanished one moment. She turned into bidding on storage units and making visitors snicker. And the following, she was off the show. Fanatics have been left scratching their heads. Why did Mary go away, and where did she pass? It wasn't a regular exit. No surprising drama or public feuds as an alternative. It was extra, like a quiet shift, in direction one that left lovers wondering what came about at the back of the scenes. It wasn't an easy selection, but Mary had her reasons. Her departure became a herbal shift in priorities as her existence and career advanced. So after the Storage Wars finale in 2019, you would possibly have a dear that we'd now not pay attention from Mary Pon as she disappeared from the display. But nope, she was simply began lifestyles after the display has been an interesting bankruptcy for Mary. And she, or he's been busy expanding her horizons in a wide variety of cool approaches first. Up allows communicate approximately Mary's reveals. With the cease of garage warfare, Mary went full throttle into growing her vintage shop. She had usually been obsessed on locating treasures, and now she had even extra time to attention on her commercial enterprise. She failed to just forestall at her bodily shop. She accelerated her online presence, giving more humans the risk to store her hand-picked vintage objects, whether it is quirky, furniture, particular decor, or one of a-end unearths. Mary's keep have become a pass-to for human beings seeking to upload a touch personality to their homes. The transition from TV V-star to businesswoman felt like a natural flow, and Mary made it her personal. But this is not all. Mary has saved her social media game strong. She's great energetic on Instagram, wherein she stocks the whole thing from DIY initiatives to her cutting-edge vintage treasures. It's like getting a peek behind the scenes of Mary's finds, and her non-public life lovers get to see her passion for layout, her love for cooking, or even a few personal updates here and there. It is not just about promoting her enterprise, it is about staying related to her audience and sharing what makes her tick. You could inform that Mary enjoys enticing with her followers and showing off her creative side. Plus, she's always got that identical infectious energy that made her the sort of hit on Storage Wars. Other than going for walks her business and posting her brand new finds, Mary additionally makes occasional public appearances, whether she's attending vintage markets, participating in pop-up occasions, or connecting with enthusiasts at unique meet and greets. She's nonetheless very plenty part of the Vintage and Interior Design International. It is like she in no way really left. It's simply that now she's on her personal phrases people nevertheless love to meet the female at the back of the treasure hunter Yoon persona. And Mary enjoys getting the danger to have interaction with her fans. In real existence, in a lot of these busy lifestyles, it seems our woman Mary still knows how to take a breather with juggling her thriving commercial enterprise, her public appearances, and her social media presence. She's controlled to hold a solid dating deliver with her boyfriend, Dylan, whom she met some years ago at the same time as Mary won't be married. But she and Dylan appear to have built a strong, supportive bond. They have got control to hold their courting relatively low-key. That's likely why enthusiasts do not see lots of him on her social media or in the public eye. However, from what we do see, it is clear that Dylan is someone who values her area, helps her passions, and is a huge component of her existence. Whether they are exploring new locations, sharing quiet second moments, collectively, or taking part in her antique reveals. Mary and Dylan's relationship seems to be in an amazing location, built on love and mutual respect. Mary Pon and Dylan reportedly met some years ago, but no longer plenty is known about the precise info of their first meeting. Evidently, they take to each other quickly, with Mary bringing up him once in a while in social media posts. They have got stored the beginning in their courting enormously private, and Mary has never long gone into an excessive amount of element, approximately, how they met. But she's made it clean that Dylan is someone special to her fanatics. First commenced to discover approximately Mary's relationship, whilst she posted a few photographs of them together on her Instagram. Mary has a tendency to proportion personal moments on her social media, and her followers picked up at the diffused guidelines about Dylan. Over the years, lovers commenced to apprehend him in her posts, and that is how maximum of her target audience found out about the boyfriend Dylan's. Appearances on Mary's social media have remained pretty low-key, and it is clear that Mary values the privateness she shared glimpses in their relationship, like moments from holidays, casual outings, or simply the two of them, relaxing at domestic, whilst some enthusiasts were curious approximately the information in their dating. Mary has always been respectful of their non-public life, letting her fans experience her posts without oversharing. So even as Mary hasn't made a huge public announcement about how they met, it is clear that their relationship is powerful. Fanatics have come to understand the glimpses into her private life, and it's fresh to look that she's saved things real, focusing on her career, her passions, and her connection with Dylan. However, here's the factor. Given how a great deal we've come to recognize approximately Mary over the years, we cannot assist but surprise what's next for her and Dylan. Do we see greater in their courting within the future? Or will they continue to maintain matters underneath wraps? Only time will inform, but one element's for certain: Mary's journey, both in love and in existence, in no way fails to leave us curious about what's coming next.